So I'm Ewen Sergison. I'll be driving this 1965 Lola T70. It's a Can-Am car that was bought by John Surtees in ’65 and first raced by Graham Hill in 1965. He finished 4th. It's a Chevy V8. It's got 580 foot-pounds of torque, about 520 horsepower. So basically, you could do everything in 5th gear. Obviously, you don't, but you could do it in 5th gear. Trying to start in 1st gear is almost impossible, so you usually start in 2nd gear in the dry. It's got disc brakes all around, inboard on the back. It used to originally have the downdraft carburetors, but to try and slow them down a bit, because they used to be doing 174 miles an hour on the back straight. So they've got the side draft carburetors, which is what they ran earlier in period. It's not my car, it's owned by Nigel Griffiths. I'm very lucky and he lets me to drive it. It's run by CMS. It's a perfectly well maintained car, so if there's any problems it's probably going to be me. I think Nigel owned it as of last year, summer last year, and it raced in the revival last year, and unfortunately it was the one that everybody saw the pictures of where it was on top of a GT40. Nope, never raced the car before. I tested 2 weeks ago, quite happy with my pace 2 weeks ago, about 3 seconds off the pace. I've gone faster yesterday in qualifying, but I never really got a clear lap. It's just a lot different to everything else I've driven. With the Formula 3 cars, you can get 3 abreast. With these, if somebody's parked in the middle of the track, you've got to go on the grass to get past, because they're just so big, there's not enough room. I did have a slight off yesterday trying to pass a slower car, and it didn't go exactly where I expected, so I had to go across the grass. But the car's very forgiving, so it's as much as they are a brute and they look scary, they're very good cars. Strange, because all the cars with the roller rockers, we knew beforehand that we're going to have a 3-race grid penalty, so I qualified 9th, but I'm starting 12th. Right in the middle, from front to back, right in the middle, side to side, so I've got to find some way of squeezing past some cars, which isn't easy. And especially when the fact that some of the cars are worth millions, it's a very expensive grid, so hopefully I'll still have all the wing mirrors on when we get to Madrid. I'm not confident for a win. The first 2 are very, very quick, but they've got some slow cars in front, so we don't know what will happen. I usually go quicker in a race than I do in qualifying and practice, so I'm presuming I will be quicker. As my form usually goes, I will be quicker in the race, but you just got to wait and see, get through turn 1 and then take it from there. A little bit nervous. Luckily it's still dry. It's a very tight grid. It's going to be pretty much this tight when we're actually on the grid. Hopefully we'll get a bit of space into Madrid, get through Madrid and then see what we can do from there. But hopefully we'll have a good race. absolutely brilliant. The start, extremely scary because we were all bunched up and they all literally just closed in front of me. So I lifted off, which got off the cam. So I ended up getting a terrible start. I think I was about 15th at one point. But a couple of them were touching. And I thought I'd rather finish last than bring it home with a scratch. So decided basically just see if we can pick them off one by one, and it made for an absolutely awesome race. It was probably the first 3 or 4 laps I got to overtake somebody, which is just awesome in one of these things. And then the two blue Lolas, that I managed to get past them both, and then they come and had to go back, and it was just fantastic. Every time I showed them what I wanted to do, they looked in the mirror and didn't cut me up. So I thought, well, when I actually do need to make the move, or when I find how brave I can be to make the move, I'll be allowed to do it. And every time I did, they yielded, and it was fine. It was really good. A couple of problems with back markers on the last lap was really scary. I'd caught up the, I think it's a Hinnock, I think it's called, and he came out the way, but I could see the leaders were coming to lappers, and I'd got Ian right behind me, and Ian came alongside, and I thought, I've just got to stay in front. And as I kept going, the car started to slide to right. I thought, I'm going to push him onto grass, but he yielded and pulled in. I've said sorry, he said it's not a problem. And then we had to let the leaders go past, and then across the finish line, brought her home in 6th.